Hey everybody, Michael here from Replica Airguns with an indoor field test shooting video. Today we're looking at the Specna arms, and these are the Edge and Core C10 E10 series. They're very comparable guns. I did a tabletop video covering them and going over the differences. I've also made a preview, well, kind of an introductory video of the whole line to talk about the differences between the Edge and the Core series and how cost effective they both really are at the end of the day. Today we're going to shoot these two different versions just to give you an idea of how the Core versus the Edge compare. This should really relate with the full line of product, right? So if you're getting the Core Edge series, we've got two guns that are virtually identical other than one's Core, one's Edge. They have slightly different components inside, but they're very similar in a lot of ways. We are going to be running higher voltage. I believe this is like the, what is this? This is the LiPo battery. This is 11.1 volt that we're going to be running on it. So I'm going to be running that on both of these guns so that the full auto is a little faster. I mean, we could just be running, I got this one too, this little 2200 7.4 volt battery. If this one fails, I couldn't find my charger, so I'm hoping I have enough charge. Anyways, let's try and get through this. So let's start with we're going to start with the Edge, the E10. Okay, so we're going to put that on fire. We're going to get the chrono going. We're going to use the same battery. We're just going to switch it back and forth because I only really have one of this type of battery, but we can just quickly pop it in here as we need to. So let's see what we get here. Mag would help. Okay, we'll keep the mag in it. All right, we're loaded up. Okay, so let's just get a few rounds on target. Maybe that first one didn't go. There we go. 319, 316, 316. Hopefully we're getting this. 318, 315, we'll do one more. 321. Now I'm using 0.25 gram Airsoft BBs, so I was expecting a little bit higher performance, somewhere closer to the 360, but that's not bad. Let's switch this battery up. Okay, and let's try the Core series, the C10. See what we get with that. Okay, put another mag in. Oh, I guess it would help if I hooked it up, wouldn't it? Yeah, they're not like the CO2 ones that I usually review that are all ready to go. You do need batteries. Okay, anyways, let's go. I think the first shot will be empty, but we'll just... Okay, it's good. 303, 302, 297, 300, 294, 301. So a little lower in FPS, which is surprising. They do have different gearboxes, but they should have the same spring. So the spring in both of these, I believe, is the M120. You do get the M90 spring with it, but that's the slower spring, the less, I guess, less tension. So it will cause, less propulsion, less velocity. But anyways, that's what it is. So about 300 versus about 315 to 318. Kind of close, but a little bit of a separation there. All right, so let's find out how accurate these both are. Shooting from 30 feet away on my semi-rest set, sort of seated in the back, resting on a sandbag up front, and we have the paper target downrange. We'll see what kind of accuracy we get in semi and full auto. I've got my paper target all set up. We're ready to go. We're going to put 10 rounds in the target in semi-auto. Then we're going to take a quick look. Then we go back here and fire off, I don't know, just a bunch of bursts. We'll see. I've got this magazine pretty much fully loaded, but I don't know. I don't want to use up the battery off the first gun just in case. So we'll just sort of play it by ear. Okay, so we're going to go down here. I got to get low. Let me just get low here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, I want to rest this nicely. This gives us a little bit more distance too. I know this isn't a perfect range for Airsoft, but let's put 10 rounds in really carefully here. All right, let's take a quick look. Put that on safe. Wow, we're shooting low, super low. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna shoot, I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna actually use the notch sights on the top just to raise up the barrel. This will bring everything up a little bit because that was really low. So we're gonna shoot using the notch sights on the top. it looks like we're shooting really high now. It's like one or the other. The notch sight is for shooting further ranges. So again, I'm going to try this one more time, just because I've never shot this gun. I'm going to shoot using the notch sights, but I'm going to shoot at the bottom ring, and that should put us right where we want to be, dead center. Okay, so that gives us a much better result. Now again, you can adjust these sights. They're fully adjustable. You can also adjust the hop up. That's like amazing. That's really good. We had one come down here, right there, but this is like a 1-inch group with the paper tears. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm gonna just unload a bunch of bursts. This isn't gonna be very scientific at all, but we're just gonna, you know, I wanna save some battery. I'm sure I've got lots of battery left, but just in case, I wanna save some for, we are in full auto for the next gun here for the C10. Here we go. Okay, I think that really is enough to let us know if this gun is indeed accurate. And yeah, we just blew pretty much that bullseye right out, even though we're shooting a little bit up and to the right, kind of came down just a bit, settled in a little lower, and we pretty much destroyed that bullseye. Not bad at all. All right, so I'm gonna switch up this target right now, put on a new one. Okay, and let's repeat this process. At least now we know kind of where these guns like to shoot. I'm imagining the C10 is gonna be similar. I could be wrong, but we'll start with the same process that I was shooting last time. I'll put that notch on the bottom rings, and that should get us right near the middle. At least I'm hoping. Okay. That was fun. This gun actually shoots really nice. Now I did, little disclaimer, I did go outside and kind of play around with these guns a little bit. Well, the E10, and I shot a bunch of rounds at a tree like a good 150 meters away, and it was really accurate. It stayed nice and flat, and it stayed on target really, really well. Okay, so first off, let's do, let's see if I got this back all the way. Yeah, I do. Okay, good. Just trying to get a little distance between my eyes and the sights here. Actually, you know what? I'm shooting the wrong spot, so let's try that again. At the bottom ring. Okay, so all those shots where I was aiming at the bottom ring, I'll sort of show you where I've been aiming to make this kind of work for this indoor range here at 30 feet. So I'm aiming right here, bottom ring, and I'm getting up here. So the other gun was about the same height, but it's shooting just a little to the right. Again, these sights are adjustable. We can move this around easy with the sight adjustment. So I've got a sight adjustment here for windage, and then I have elevation on the front. So we can totally do that. So this is good enough for our testing purposes, just to see the grouping. Again, another like 1-inch grouping. Pretty amazing. I mean, these guns are as comparable to BB guns with using Airsoft BB. So very, very good accuracy so far. We're in full auto now, the happy switch. Okay, let's try this again. I figured it's the last test. Let's just unload it. That's with the mid-cap mag, and it was pretty much loaded fully before I started this. So we shot a good 120 rounds or so total. Some for the chrono test, some for that little 10-round burst. So we probably had a good 100 shots just go to the target right there. And again, put another hole completely in the cardboard and everything, and just ripped it right up. Really stayed all within 2 inches nicely. Again, I could bring it over on that bullseye. These guns both shoot, you know, like they both shoot really well. I mean, it doesn't matter which one you get. Again, watch my tabletop video for the E10 and the C10, and also my comparison video, or basically my introduction video of the whole line, where I think I show off about 14 or 15 guns, all different versions of this Specna Arms series in core and edge, some with the Rock River Arms branding and some without, most of them with. But these are a really great product line. I'm glad we have them. As you can see, they perform really well. These are the shorter barrel versions. So these are like the 6.5-inch roughly inch barrels. So I don't know if a longer barrel is going to maybe give you a little bit more velocity. I don't think it will because it's spring operated, but you know, these are claimed to have up to 380 FPS. Temperature shouldn't make a difference. There's no CO2. We were shooting between 300 and 320 with these different versions using the higher, you know, the tighter spring, right? The higher velocity spring, the M20. It does come with the M90 if you want to slow it down. I don't see a reason you need to, really. Those FPS ranges with the 0.25 gram are pretty good. But again, if you shoot a 0.20 gram, I guess that's where the ratings are all done on, is 0.20 gram. You are going to get higher FPS, but I was using 0.25 grams. So that would, just thinking about it now, this, that would explain the difference in FPS. You are going to get higher, probably close to that 380 with a 0.20 gram. I don't think you're going to hit it exactly, but probably closer to 350, 360 for sure with the E10, maybe a little lower with the C10. So keep that in mind. Great guns, operated perfectly for me. Really cool. I also didn't really mention this in my other video or any of my other videos on the Specna Arms products. When you do get the E series, the Edge series, I thought that they came with both with mid-cap mags. So they do both come with mid-cap mags, the C10 and the E10. But the E series, the Edge series, comes with the mid-cap, and mine came with an extra high cap. So I had a mid-cap and a high-cap magazine. So that's kind of cool if you want to go with either one. I kind of like these mid-cap mags. You don't have to spin that wheel at all, which is pretty nice. Just load up a bunch of them and you're ready to go. All right, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also come on down to ReplicaAirguns.com where I have articles, post reviews, additional photos, all that stuff. And of course, our Canada and US online stores at ReplicaAirguns.ca and ReplicaAirguns.us where we have air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories. Until next time, take care.